Erica here, and I'm here today to film a review of the book of Strange New Things by Michel Faber. I buddy read this in February with a whole ton of booktubers, and it was a delightful experience. Most of the people I read this with did not really appreciate this book, as I'm sure you've seen floating around. I liked it overall, though, and I gave the book 3 stars in the end. I read last year The Crimson Petal and the White by Michel Faber, and I really loved that book. That was a 5-star read for me. So I was interested to see how I'd feel about this. Now, while The Crimson Petal and the White is historical fiction, this leans more on the science fiction end of the spectrum. If historical fiction and science fiction are ever on a spectrum somewhere, I don't know. So it's, it's science fiction, but it's very soft science fiction. I wouldn't shy away from it if you're not a fan of science fiction. And it's very literary in nature. So it's the story of this man named Peter and his wife Beatrice. And Peter is chosen to go on a mission to a new planet called Oasis as a Christian missionary. So his job, once he arrives on the planet, is to, spread the word of God amongst the natives of that planet, or in this case, aliens, really. And meanwhile, his wife is left on Earth, and they can communicate sort of via a system similar to email. But they can communicate, and, she's having a really hard time without him. And he's kind of immersing himself in this new role. So the book is told not really from multiple perspectives, but a lot of the narrative just follows Peter, but then also you read some of his letters back and forth with his wife and what she's writing to him as well. So it's interesting in that it's, partially epistolary, partially not. And it kind of teeters on the edge of being told in multiple perspectives. Jen from Jen Campbell, I believe, interviewed Michel Faber recently, and she loves this book, and she told us while we were all buddy reading it that he wrote this while his wife was dying, I believe, of cancer. And that kind of added a new layer of depth to it, because it's, kind of a very sad story about a man and wife being separated physically by, millions of miles, and how that affects their emotional unity as well. Thematically, I loved this book. I was really engaged with it. I found it extremely interesting. It definitely touches on kind of how colonialism and imperialism can destroy cultures, and how much misunderstanding there can be between cultures, and how it's important that Westerners especially accept new cultures instead of imposing our views upon them. So yeah, it's really a lot about how Western culture and Western society treats otherness and others, and how we make assumptions that we should not and are not really able to justify. So I connected with that. There were bits of Peter's story that I connected to on a highly personal level, which I'm not really comfortable sharing here, sorry, but that definitely affected my overall opinion of the book and kind of my perception of it. Something I did not really connect with was the writing style. I felt very distanced from it. The aliens have this weird language, and it's written in these weird characters. I don't know if you can see that, because my camera won't focus, but that was kind of distracting and a little annoying. Like, I get it, but it's kind of strange. So I can't really put my finger on what I didn't like about the writing. It wasn't super bad. I just felt like the book was kind of holding me at a distance. And I feel like on some level that really could be due to the fact that this was probably a really deeply personal writing experience for Michel Faber. Not that all writing isn't really deeply emotional, but I feel like he must have been severely emotionally invested in this story, and, having a hard time accepting his personal reality at the same time. So maybe that's what it is, but that for me just kind of made me not love this book as much as I might have. So overall, I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I would not recommend it to everyone, but I think that most people should at least try it. It's a really interesting and really different book, and I appreciate it for that. Even if I didn't necessarily love it, I did like it, and it was worth my time to read it. So if you have any questions about this book or have read it and would you like to discuss how you felt about it in the comments, please let me know, and I will see you all next time. Bye!